All right, guys, we're here today to talk about what is likely the largest potential in the crypto space when it comes down to serious real-world applications, and that is AI. This is the first bull run where AI is at front and center of everybody's mind and real projects are being shipped. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about the opportunity here, which could be $1 trillion opportunity. But here's the catch, guys, is it won't last forever. Literally the moves that you make here pre-parabolic bull run could mean the difference between massive success and massive FOMO. So guys, if you're excited to hear about my AI picks, let's dive into the video today. And without further ado, let's jump in. All right, guys, and as you've seen over here, we have a nice little recovery over here, actually. First time I've checked the chart all day. And also, by the way, I know that I got a little bit of lag here in the screen, but it's late, it's my bedtime. If you guys don't know, I take my bedtime very, very seriously. So let's go through this, and we're getting a nice little recovery here. And as you can see, another massive day yesterday with ETFs and Bitcoin. You've got BlackRock coming up, buying 100 mil, Fidelity 104 million. They realized they fumbled the ball over here. And they bought up almost $250 million again yesterday. We are so back. That was Monday. Let's see what happens today on the 8th. And basically, we've gone through this whole dilemma where you've got fears of World War III and we're still holding up relatively strong. This is a good indicator of things to come ahead of us, guys. And of course, Bitcoin is the top performing asset class of the entire year, up about 50%, when the next best thing was over here, the volatility index and equities, utilities, for example. So Bitcoin outperforming everything else. And as you can see over here, you got the 2024 election forecast. Trump now up in the polls, leading Kamala, thank God, if for no other reason than our wallets, but for me, it's a lot more than that. But anyway, regardless of it, it should be good for the markets. And if you're in crypto, you should be happy for that no matter what way you lean. It doesn't really matter. And as you can see over here, we talk about, mostly the most important thing was Donald Trump, how he said in the speech at Bitcoin Nashville, he wants to make Bitcoin essentially a United States reserve, right? Like a strategic reserve. And I wasn't super impressed with his plan, although that's interesting. It doesn't mean too much, but more importantly, he's now got Kennedy, RFK, on his team, who really was bullish on an aggressive Bitcoin buying plan. And if he can convince Trump to do that, it would be absolutely insane for Bitcoin and our markets. Like, something you would never even imagine. As Quentin says over here, guys, there's whales buying up. I showed you guys this chart last time too. Whales buying the dip or buying the market here, and it's about to go parabolic just like it did last time at the end of 2020, right before 2021. The exact same thing is happening, guys, so be ready for that. And this is kind of funny over here. Like, what are the real kind of catalysts for bears? You've got this war happening, but again, for me, I don't think it's very bearish. Unfortunately, as I told you guys in the tweets the other day, war is generally good for markets, unfortunately. And of course, the catalysts that we've talked about time and time again are China pushing up an aggressive stimulus package, massive money printing over there, FTX stimulus, Q4 seasonality, the elections, Trump, pro-crypto, etc., etc. Guys, these are not new to you. And the FTX plan, the meeting did go ahead yesterday. There was an approval on that, so we will see about $1.1 billion being reimbursed this year, meaning in the next quarter or so, which will be a nice $1 billion stimulus. Not huge, but better than nothing. And then in the beginning of next year, we'll see the rest of the remainder come piling in. That tweet said 10 billion. I don't really know what the number is. We were saying between 14 and 16, so I don't know, but I think some of it went to creditors. I don't really know for sure. But big stimulus early next year. And of course, this is not really something that's very newsworthy, but it is kind of interesting where, unfortunately, we should have been paid back in kind, meaning that like if you had money on FTX in a crypto asset, it would have been nice to have gotten that crypto asset back, versus the cash, but oh well. Now, this is a little interesting. Basically, we've showed you guys these kind of heat charts before, these heat maps, right? And the more yellow and red it gets, the more over leveraged the market is, the more unhealthy, the more likely we are for a correction. It is very green right now, but I would expect this because Bitcoin's only at 63,000. So if Bitcoin was at like 67,000 and we've been rallying all week, and it was still green, I would say, okay, that's really good news and unexpected, but this is expected considering the fact that we haven't really rallied very hard. We're still at 63,000. So for me, that's kind of obvious. So winter is coming, as Shard says, treat this as the final chance or bull market. Go back to 2020 and look at the chart sentiment and what happened in Q4 and Q1 of 2021. It was really Q1 that really kicked it off. It was really, really big. I don't agree with this either, but he says memes have speculation, but no fundamentals. Murad would argue much differently. So would I. DeFi has solid fundamentals, but lacks speculation. AI has both. Speculation of the promise of upcoming solid fundamentals, and understanding this is key to position yourself depending on different circumstances and market dynamics. So AI has been like the hottest market outside of memes, and actually outperforming major AI plays have been outperforming major memes, as you see over the past month here in this chart, where if you take like FET, which is the merger, Near and Tau, has been outperforming memes, for example, over the past month. So it has been a major outperformer, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is the AI plays. And as you can see, BlackRock, along with Microsoft, has created a $30 billion investment fund for AI, and they can get that up to $100 billion potentially, with a lot of that going into crypto AI projects. You can see here Pantera co-led an $85 million seed round for Sentient AGI. Now, I would say that's normally crazy, and that's probably crazy valuations, but I would never doubt Pantera and Dan Moorhead over there. They were super early into Bitcoin, the first Bitcoin fund. Have a good knack for seeing things early. But what's the point here? The point is, as they say, generative AI market is expected to grow exponentially from 40 billion market in 2022 to an estimated 1.3 trillion over the next decade. As AI continues to integrate into new sectors, we believe the demand for decentralized solutions like Sentient will increase. Now, I don't know what the valuation is of something that's raising $85 million in a seed round, but it's likely in the like $500 million plus valuation already. So you can see here, as we go into the AI market cap coins, you've got like Near over here, BitTensor, ICP, Artificial Superintelligence, or FET. This is the merger, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of these aren't even truly AI coins, right? Which is really worth pointing out, right? Like Arkham, it's a data dashboard. I like Arkham, but like it's not really AI. AOS, which we will talk about, is DeepIn. Akash is DeepIn. The graph is like data. Render is DeepIn. Artificial Superintelligence is AI. BitTensor is AI infrastructure. But we will, anyway, it doesn't matter, because if you guys want to make money in this bull market, it's all about picking the narratives that are going to win. And so we're going to start off with some blue chips, the ones that are more likely going to be your safe, secure, and these will more than likely, of course, not financial advice, but far outperform anything in the stock market in the next 12 months. That's my bet, right? So Near Protocol, Ilya was part of Google, I think Deep Brain, I met him, great guy. And sitting in here at a fully diluted valuation of $6 billion, still relatively small. This thing, I don't know, the problem with Near is the marketing, but really amazing, and they're starting to do more. You saw Ilya sitting with Mr. NVIDIA, Mr. NVIDIA, I don't remember his name at the moment, but sitting with him. And so Near is really kind of set up, it's fully diluted valuation. There's no more VC unlocks, they really built product. In the good niche, this is going to run pretty damn hard, I think, in this upcoming bull run. Now, this is a really good play too, especially with the valuation. You've got three essentially great companies like Singularity, Fetch, and Ocean all merging together to form with the objective of creating decentralized artificial superintelligence. I think this is an awesome project. I haven't dug in super deep to know if they're close. Like I was on a panel with Ben from Singularity in Singapore. He's a really smart guy in the space, really well respected. I think, these guys definitely have a chance to pull it off. At a $3 billion market cap, 1/5 or essentially the FDV of BitTensor, I think this is probably a really good deal right now as well. Something that is definitely considered a blue chip. And here you can see what they're doing over here. Be good to go give them a follow. I think when it comes down to blue chip AI plays that are going to absolutely pump, this thing is good. No more VC unlocks, things like that. And BitTensor, of course, we've talked about BitTensor. We talked about it back at $666, and we watched it go all the way back down and pump back up again. As you can see over the 1 year, bam, bam, bam. Now it's raging. You've got guys like Chamath Palihapitiya and mainstream talking about BitTensor like crazy. This thing's likely to run to 100 billion or so, another 10x, 8 to 10x this bull run. And I think that's like pretty very low risk, right? So it depends on, for this video, depends on what your risk appetite is, right? Are you looking for, the 5 to 10x, which I think BitTensor falls into? Or are you looking for the more degenerate plays that are more high risk, that are the 20 to 100x? Those are coming up, guys, right? But currently, right now, you still have 50% of market share or mind share focused on Tau from the crypto AI sector. And I agree with this 100 billion. Now, Wajahat over here goes into the fact that he says that Tau isn't just an AI coin, it's a layer 1. And because it's built on Polkadot substrate with the subnets and people building their projects in it, it's kind of like a Polkadot, for example. A layer 0 is even a more accurate way to say this, in my opinion, where it's not unfathomable for it to go to 100 billion in this bull. I really think that's possible, and that's why I'm telling you guys. And the marketing and the way that it was set up was really good too. They also have 21 million coins, just like Bitcoin, and they kind of phase it as the Bitcoin for AI, which is a good narrative. And even if it got to half of the value that Bitcoin is right now, it would go from $600 to 30,000, which is like exactly what I've been saying as far as the appreciation potential here, price per token. Now, AO's still flying more under the radar, but listed on Coinbase already, a phenomenal team, been building this decentralized infrastructure, DePIN infrastructure for AI, and basically to compete directly with all these services that Amazon Web Services has. And I know that they've just been building over there like crazy, got good partnerships, sitting at a very reasonable fully diluted valuation of 530 million. Again, this would be more blue chip in my opinion. Yeah, this thing's going to absolutely fly in my opinion. I still have big bags packed of AOs. But again, it's essentially, it is striving to do everything AWS does in a decentralized way. Great founding team, great founder. And they were also the first DePIN Web3 company to be in the, DePIN company to be in the NVIDIA Accelerated Applications Catalog. So they are, and essentially partnered with NVIDIA in that way. Spectral is another one. Now, keep this in mind right here, right? Like, this is interesting. Look what it says. Like, buy and sell ETH on bullish and bearish crossovers using 12, 26, 9. Scan base every 6 hours and buy $100 in each new meme coin with over 50K liquidity, etc., etc. Interesting, right? Now, what's even more interesting is we go down here, we look at build your agent, blah, 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 agent wallets, industry plugins, a plugin to scan for real-time events, to tell your AI to do. But what the most interesting thing down here is the cap table. It's crazy. You've got Social Capital, which is like Chamath Palihapitiya, Parify, Circle, Franklin Templeton, Polychain, Galaxy, Samsung, like all of the who's who of everyone invested in this project. And of course, they probably raised it too high of a valuation, and they raised a bunch of money, and their investors are probably underwater right now. But for you, I think at 771 million FDV is a lot, but investors don't start to unlock for a while, like 200 days or something. So at a $92 million valuation, I think this thing's very incredibly reasonable, actually. I think this thing should do quite well. I really want to talk to the team, but one of the things that I want to point out, I'll show it to you guys in a second here. Well, first of all, it's important to note that you have still investors 209 days until the first unlock set to happen, also with the same with the team. So I would say that be very, very cautious around vesting period in May 6th, right? You want to be very, very careful May 6th. That's when in 209 days. But until then, if AI gets a pump, this thing has a really good chance to pump. Now, the next thing, of course, you guys all know, I'm very, very, very bullish on based AI. Now, they have their brain burns coming up tomorrow, apparently, and that's a big, big catalyst for it. And mainnet is right around the corner as well. Now, one of the things, I don't need to kind of go over this all for you guys if you've watched my videos before. If not, there's a one dedicated on based AI and Pepe Coin. But one thing I want to show you that's really interesting, actually, is this Kek Bot, right? So look at this. So if the 50-day moving crosses over 200-day moving average, sell 30% of my ETH in USDC, move 25% of my ETH into the top trending DeFi projects above 30 million market cap. So people have been trading this AI model on based AI for Pepe Coin for a long time now. So this Kek Bot should start trading or launching or being able to be used once base mainnet goes live, probably in the next month or so, I guess. I don't know, they haven't announced the exact timeline, but isn't that interesting that it's very, very similar over here to what Spectral is doing? Like their big main thing right on the front page is the exact same thing. Now, the thing about Spectral, and to be fair, Based, is that when you go to the actual app to use it, you don't really have anything that's like that cool here yet. You've got this Moonmaker, which is like a pump fund, which probably no one is using because you have to pay for it. Pump fund's free. Then you have the syntax test machine for devs to find vulnerabilities, and then like this other thing. So the question is when are they going to release? And the same question for Kek Bot. This is going to be such an amazing feature. To be able to have natural language to do really complex moves and trades is a game changer, right? So is Spectral going to do it, or is Based AI and Kek Bot going to do it, Pepe Coins? I don't know, but either way, I would take bets on both of them. Now, the difference though is Based AI is sitting at a fully diluted of 133 versus Spectral at a fully diluted of 771 million. So, and Based AI doesn't have a bunch of VCs waiting, because you can see that there's going to be massive inflation in 200 days in Spectral, but there's potential, and the team is probably really, like, the problem with Based in a way is that the team is doxxed. I'm told that they might undox themselves, they're anonymous. I'm told that they might dox themselves soon. But to me, that is a little bit of a setback there, although it is my biggest, Pepe Coin and Based AI are my biggest bets so far of this bull run. But I like Spectral a lot from the cap table. I think the valuation is really reasonable, especially at this 92. Of course, you want to be careful around May. But for me, this is like probably one of the most interesting things outside of Base and Pepe Coins, of course. And the last thing too is I just want to show you that this tie, not because I'm interested in it necessarily, it is backed by the Solana Foundation. I don't have enough research on this to say yay or nay on this yet, but I just found it was interesting because they are partnered in using AOS's technology and AOS's stack. Now, the last thing is this kind of this little list. I can put it in the description below for you guys of the coins that we talked about today, the potential here. As you can see, Based AI has the most potential, in my opinion, because of the where it is, because of the roadmap. But of course, you do have the big concern for a lot of people is that the team right now is anonymous, and we haven't seen it ship the main net yet. That is something to be aware of. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. And tomorrow I'll be making some content for my Don't Die Longevity channel. There's a link for that in the description below as well. I just got home a few days ago. I've been catching up on sleep, getting back in the swing of things, but we'll be making much more regular content from now moving forward. If you're excited for that, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I'll catch you guys later.